Have you ever stopped to think about how the massive apps you use every day, the Amazons, the Instagrams, actually manage to work without just collapsing into a pile of digital chaos? Well, it turns out they all speak a kind of hidden language. It's a simple but really powerful pattern that keeps everything running smoothly. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and learn how to speak it.
So yeah, that's the big question, right? How does a system with millions of users, with all these countless moving parts, manage to stay organized and not just fall over? It might feel like some kind of tech magic, but it's actually a really clever design principle at its core.
And to get our heads around it, we're going to follow a journey that I'm pretty sure we've all taken, placing an order online. This one simple action is going to let us peek behind the curtain and see the two fundamental building blocks that make the whole thing possible. It all kicks off with a request. You, the user, are about to tell the system, hey, do this for me. So you know the drill. Your card is full, you've punched in your details, and now you hit that final button, Submit Order. In that one single moment, you've just sent an instruction deep into the heart of the system.
In the world of software, we call that instruction a command. It's basically a message that clearly states your intention. You intend to buy this thing. But, and this is absolutely crucial, a command is not a guarantee. The system can and sometimes has to say nope, can't do that. Maybe the item just sold out, or your credit card got declined. A command can be rejected.
The easiest way to think about a command? Well, it's a direct order. Just look at the names. Submit order, add item to cart, request refund. It's always a verb, right? It's literally telling the system what it needs to do.
Okay, so that's the request. But what happens when the system actually says yes and carries out your command? This is where the second piece of our puzzle slots into place. It's no longer a request, it's a record of what just went down.
So, your submit order command arrives. The system does its homework. It checks the stock, validates your payment, all that good stuff. Let's say everything's A-OK. Your request gets the green light.
Now, once the system's work is done, it doesn't just stay quiet. It announces what happened by publishing an event. And here is the key difference. An event is not a request. It is a cold, hard fact. It's a notification that something has already happened. It's immutable. You can't change the past, right? So an event can never be rejected.
A great way to think of events is like headlines from the past. They are always named in the past tense to show this. Order submitted, payment charged, item added. They're simply reporting the news of what has already taken place.
Okay, so now we have our two main players on the board, the command and the event. Let's put them side by side to really hammer home how different they are.
All right, let's break it down. A command expresses intent. It says, please do this. An event, on the other hand, states a fact. This thing happened. A command can be rejected, but an event, it's a done deal. A command is sent to one specific place to get a job done, while an event is kind of shouted out for anyone who cares to listen. And of course, the naming. Commands are verbs, events are always in the past tense. Let's look at a few more examples from our shopping trip. The command add item to cart, that leads to the event item added. The command request refund, that might eventually cause the event refund process to happen. You can really see that clear cause and effect relationship in every single pair.
And as you look at these, you start to notice this brilliantly simple naming pattern. Commands are usually verb-noun, do this thing. Events are noun-verbed, this thing has been done. It's a super simple, elegant little trick that lets developers know exactly what kind of message they're dealing with, just by looking at its name.
But this is where things get really, really powerful. See, the story doesn't just end when an event gets created. Nope. In fact, that's usually just the beginning of a massive chain reaction.
An event is so much more than just an entry in a log file. It's a trigger. It's like a starting pistol. When an event like order submitted gets announced, other parts of the system are sitting there, listening, just waiting to spring into action.
Let's visualize this flow. So first, your submit order command is handled. If it's successful, bam, the order submitted event is published. And here's the really cool part. That one single event can kick off multiple, completely different actions all at once. The notification system hears it and sends you a confirmation email. At the exact same time, the payment system hears it and starts a brand new command to charge your card.
This quote just sums up the whole thing perfectly. It's a cycle, right? Commands trigger work, that work produces events that record what happened, and then those events trigger even more commands, starting the whole cycle all over again. Now, this might all seem like a pretty small technical detail, but this separation between asking for something to happen and reporting that it happened, well, it's the secret sauce that allows these giant applications to actually work. So let's talk about why it matters so much.
First off, it creates what's called loosely coupled systems. Fancy term, but the idea is simple. The part of the app that takes your order doesn't need to know a single thing about the part that sends emails. It just shouts, "Hey, an order was submitted," and the email service reacts all on its own. This means if one part breaks, the others can keep on working. It makes the whole thing more reliable, flexible, and way easier to grow. Plus, as a bonus, this stream of events creates a perfect, unchangeable audit trail of everything that's ever happened.
So I want to be clear, this isn't just some abstract textbook theory. This distinction, this discipline, is the practical, real-world technique that keeps enormous code bases from turning into an absolute, unmanageable mess. It's the solution to digital chaos. And now that you know the pattern, you're going to start seeing it absolutely everywhere. So as you click and scroll and type your way through the internet today, just take a second to think. What commands am I sending out right now? And what invisible events are being triggered just beneath the surface of my screen?